I'm Nigel Smith, and we're here in Toronto on the first day of the festival. I'm sorry, the second day of the festival, my first day. And we're in the TIFF 2022 EW and People Studio here to talk with the director, writer, and the cast of Emily. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Now, Frances, I am a huge fan of your acting. AI is one of my favorite films of all time. I saw it here in Toronto, actually.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and as a writer and director, was that always on your bucket list of things to do?
Yeah, I kind of had just reached a point where I kind of wanted to try something different. I mean, I love acting, but I just wanted to kind of tell my own story rather than be in somebody else's story. And it was just felt like a very natural kind of, I don't know, step for me. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it, really loved it.
I can't think of anything more challenging, though, than trying to adapt the life of Emily Bronte for the screen.
Yeah.
And it's never really been done before, from what I understand, which is crazy to me for the big screen, right?
I know, that's what I felt. We've done. There's been some very respectful biopics of the Bronte family.
Yeah.
Nothing kind of specifically about Emily, and I think she's such a fascinating character. And I just felt like there was a story in there to explore. And I'm also really interested in kind of what it takes to be a woman and to find your voice. And so I felt like those two things, marrying those two things together thematically, felt like that could be something interesting. Yeah.
Emma, I read that you actually were a huge fan of Emily before you were taking this on, and you wanted to play her, right? Was this on your bucket list of sorts?
It wasn't on my bucket list,
her?
but I love the Brontes, and I love the whole kind of mystery around them and this fascination that we have for the Bronte family, and like you say, Emily is specifically intriguing, I think, and that was kind of what drew me to want to play her.
Yeah.
So I was glad when you offered me the part. Yeah, thank God. But no, it was really exciting. There was just so much to research and do with this part. So it was a real gift.
About the research, like how much research did everyone do, and were you very instructive in terms of, giving them reading materials to?
I just kind of gave a reading list of like things that had really helped me write it.
Yeah. And
I just kind of put that together for everybody, and then everybody kind of read different things, I think. But yeah.
What specifically?
There's a really great one called The Bronte Myth by Lancaster Miller that I really love, because it's kind of analysing how we feel about the Brontes and how people have viewed them throughout the ages. And then Juliet Barker did one that I think a lot of people dipped into that's really comprehensive. It's like a doorstop of a book, and it's got some, like you want to know something about the Brontes, it's going to be in there. And it's a beautiful perspective on them as well. Yeah.
The film is so specific in its vision and what it wants to say about the sisters. But how did you come to the script? I mean, I imagine writing the script must have been a very arduous and long process, given all the research that was involved and the perspective that you wanted to bring to it. Can you just talk a bit about the writing process, given that this is your first feature screenplay, and it's such an incredible one at that?
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I guess I love Wuthering Heights. It's one of my favorite books. And I really feel like when you read that book, you can kind of feel her kind of behind the words. And I guess that was kind of my starting point, to try and create a story that's super personal but also speaks to Wuthering Heights, and just the research I did. And I tried to not be too kind of militant about what the story was, and if my imagination went in a particular direction, I would kind of embrace it, and then from that kind of came the story.
Wow.
Yeah.
I imagine Frances must be an actor's dream to work with, given that she is
pay you
an
later.
actress herself. What was her directing style like? Was it very performance-based?
Well, I think that what was amazing is that right from the get-go, Frances carved out rehearsal time. I mean, we had, what was it, like a week or two? Like two weeks of like, we all went up to Yorkshire, we were all staying in a house together. Yeah. Every single day we were in a rehearsal room, going through scripts, doing sort of movement things, and so
with live drums.
With live drums. There was one morning. It was like a percussionist came in, and we all had to.
That was just for fun.
That was for fun, but it was to work with someone that completely understands character and understands process and understands building and backstory, and to have someone there that understands that language and speaks that language, I think is so. It's a completely different experience working with a director that also acts, and also because you know, Frances has wrote the thing as well, so she was this sort of Bible of sort of a sounding board for ideas, and was so knowledgeable of every single element and every single piece in it, but then also, you know, because she's an actor, then gives freedom for exploration within that.
Mm-hmm. Was it during this long rehearsal process that you all developed the bond as sisters, or did it just come naturally like that?
It was. Well, what do you think? I think it was pretty. It was
quick.
Yeah. I'm doing one of these.
Hello.
It was pretty immediate, I thought, and then and then the rehearsal time was so great, and like you said, we were all Underley Grange together. We all lived
together,
which
is
is
great.
great. So we would cook, and, you know, we had a real.
I think it was living together.
Yeah,
I think
that
made
such a difference.
feel like a family.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I think that really translates on screen too, when you have a group of people who are like really connecting and feeling good about how they're all connecting, and that translates on screen as well. If everyone feels safe and they're having a good time.
It was so lovely.
You all filmed on location in Yorkshire, right? And that's where the story actually takes place. Did you feel like the sisters were watching over you in a way?
What do you guys think?
Gosh.
I don't know.
What do you think?
Maybe.
Or did you feel their presence? I don't know.
I mean, I definitely felt like just like being on the Yorkshire moors with the wind and the rain and you know, all the elements of birdsong, which was kind of constant. It was just so beautiful. So I think it was really great for everybody to kind of feel that kind of evocative sense of what Wuthering Heights is and what Yorkshire is, and that helped, I think.
Yeah,
right?
it helps physicalize it. Because you are in the elements, truly, and it's visceral, really. There's not really another landscape like it. You know, it's there. It's really, and the sky is quite close, and everything feels. It has a particular energy to it. So it was really great to be there.
Yeah. Even maybe the place we were shooting in was haunted, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Possibly.
You saw something, or?
No, the camera kept going down at a certain bit of the house.
Specific, like, it was that doorway.
It was the hallway bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just like creating myth.
Well, from Yorkshire to Los Angeles, you recently wrapped Barbie, right? I can't
Yes.
think of a more different film
Tell me.
than this one. I mean, how did, I don't know, the experience compared to the making of this, say? I can't think of more different projects.
Barbie was better.
Barbie was better.
Barbie was way better.
Barbie was, I mean, they're so different. It was so different. But yeah, we were saying this earlier. It was like Emily was so is quite dark film, and it was we had 6 weeks to.
It was really
it was
intense.
super intense, and it was a kind of a short time period. But yeah, it was a completely different energy. Barbie was lovely. It was great. It was very. There was no crying for me, which was great. So I just, it was lovely bit of comedy in Pink, which
I
was
think
nice.
that's good too when you're an actor, to a bit of yin and yang. Like if you do something that's a bit heavy, then to move on to something light is very balancing.
It was lovely. Yeah, if you get the chance to, it's amazing. I'm very lucky.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And Emily comes out next year in the States, and it comes out this fall in the UK. And have a great premiere at TIFF, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.